Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars universe seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also, let's not forget about the new Star Wars TV shows, the new Star Wars movies that are currently in the works by Disney and Lucasfilm, and exactly, what Jon and Dave Filoni are really preparing to do for the new Star Wars universe moving ahead. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way, guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing that a lot of Star Wars fans have been very upset over is, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 4. Now, Episode 4, mind you, in my opinion, was probably the worst episode of the Kenobi show. I'm just being flat out honest with you guys. Pretty subpar editing, color correction was off. Some of the key decisions on the characters' choices were heavily off, in my opinion. And I just think that there were some, logical, reasons behind all of this at the same exact time, but they really need to explain exactly some of the canon lore that a lot of fans are just being left in the dark for. And we already went into that a couple of days ago. Now, with that being said, however, what's even all the more intriguing has a lot to do with actor Mark Hamill and what he had to say about the Kenobi TV show. Now, we already know that Mark Hamill is going to be working a lot with both Jon and Dave Filoni with The Mandalorian Season 4 and other Star Wars projects out there, like the Ahsoka Tano series and more to come. They are looking at other ways to bring Luke back into the equation with new and different technology that's going to separate itself from both deepfake and, of course, from de-aging. Now, moving beyond all of this, alright, this is where things begin to get very intriguing, is what Mark Hamill had to say about the Kenobi TV series, and I don't know about you guys, but in my opinion, this is a pretty horrible take on the Kenobi show. Now, with Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 4 now out on Disney Plus with Episode 5 set to preview the ending of the series, both Disney and Lucasfilm are preparing to extend the show in ways fans could never imagine. Now, it's described, however, that recently actor Mark Hamill was questioned about his thoughts on the Kenobi TV series and offered his short review of the show where he went on to state, "First things first, the fans need to calm down. It's what is expected to happen with the Kenobi series. I personally love how it contrasts how I was done in The Last Jedi. At first, I was always surprised of what Rian Johnson had done and really got defensive over it, but over time, it grew on me. I love how they are focusing on doing the same thing with Obi-Wan. So far, I have been loving the fact that he has been in hiding for so long and shutting himself off from the Force just as Luke did. It's the perfect example of it's like poetry, it rhymes, and Joby has been doing a fantastic job with the portrayal of Reva. She honestly comes off as more villainous and more powerful than Darth Vader, and smarter than Vader. We can see that she is smarter than Vader in this show. I recently had the chance to catch up on Episode 4 with my son Nathan, since he is a big Star Wars fan and he was disagreeing with me on some things about the show. I honestly am enjoying the withdrawal of the music by John Williams. It gives the show a different theme or feeling, So I always respect new composers coming on board of the franchise to actually handle the score of these projects. The fans saying that Reva is annoying or poorly written clearly do not know how great of a Star Wars character she really is. She could easily be in the top 3 characters of the entire franchise. Joby really nailed it with writing in this new villain, and I hope to see more of her later in the actual Star Wars universe. I thought it was nonsense that the fans were creating angry comments over Reva, knowing that Anakin was Darth Vader. Joby obviously has a reason behind all of that, so I think that the fans need to relax and sit back and just wait for an explanation. So let me just pause right here for a second. Now, in my honest take about all of this, of what Mark Hamill is saying, is that he really truly does not understand how angry the fans really are with the Kenobi show. And listen, I love Mark Hamill and all, I love him as Luke Skywalker, but there's a lot of times where Mark Hamill says really crazy things and it just comes off as very inauthentic at times. Again, I just don't know what to believe when it comes to Mark Hamill. I mean, at first he was very against Rian Johnson, then he was supporting him, then he was against him again, then Disney told him certain things to act a certain way. So, him here stating how the Kenobi series contrasts The Last Jedi is a little worrisome. The fact that Mark Hamill would even say that he likes that, of how, you know, it is contrasting the Kenobi series. And I don't know about you guys, but this might be one little thing also that supports this, that Joby Harold took key pieces from The Last Jedi, is that when you look at the Kenobi poster, I'm talking about the Celebration poster, where you have Vader pointing his saber down to the sand, facing Kenobi. You can see that it contrasts the Battle of Crate. I don't know if you guys remember the Battle of Crate from TLJ, but in that actual moment, there's a sequence where you have, of course, both Kenobi and Vader facing each other, and it really mimics both Luke and Kylo facing each other on Crate. Go ahead and check out the poster. It is on my Twitter if you guys want to go ahead and see it. But moving from all of that, now of course Mark Hamill continues to state by saying the following: "I will never understand how fans keep complaining though over little nitpicky things. I know the term man babies is thrown around a lot, but I am starting to see a lot of that now with this show. So many adult men just whining about the simplest things like Kenobi running from water, or Kenobi being too afraid. I will never understand some of these die-hard fans, but hey, to each his own, right? Me and my son Nathan like to argue about what Star Wars is doing right now with the lore and such. I feel like my son could really offer something spectacular to the franchise." Mark Hamill went on to also reveal and say, "The series honestly is better produced than the prequels. It looks fantastic, the cinematography is well performed, and Lucasfilm knows exactly what they are doing with this show. Any naysayers has no time to deal with this." So let's actually, focus something on here that I really heavily disagree with when it comes to Mark Hamill. Again, like I say, I really like the guy, but there's a lot of times where he comes off as very stubborn at times on Twitter and really just kind of says the wrong things. Now, given, of course, that Mark Hamill, is going back and forth between the whole supporting The Last Jedi or going against The Last Jedi, you really don't know what to believe when it comes to him at times. But one thing about all of this is that I really do not like how they're really kind of focusing on Reva being smarter than Darth Vader, being more powerful than Darth Vader, and how Mark Hamill is implying all of that. I just don't know why that is so necessary to actually focus on that, and why it seems like that a lot of others out there are really pushing that overall narrative. Again, in my opinion, Reva is not a great character at all. She has her good moments here and there. Moses Ingram, all respect to her as an actress, but this character is just not good. That's just the honest opinion by me. So, overall, guys, let me know what you guys have to say about all of this, because it is a very interesting situation for the Kenobi series right now. I mean, there's a lot of negative feedback, and it's authentic negative feedback. There are some major flaws in this show that a lot of fans just did not see coming because of how long the show was on and off in production. So, like I said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon.